dedicated to our millennials. Our millennials in the corporate sector. We know that 30% of our workforce is actually comprised of the millennials, our recent college graduates who are entering the workforce, and we see more than ever that there's a huge disparity between the millennials and the other generations in the workplace. And so the question becomes, how do we go about brokering and bridging communication and collaboration between the millennials and the other members of your organization without us being very deliberate in how we're going to do so? It's doomed to begin with. So this vlog is dedicated to really excavating or really kind of elevating the conversation and the prioritization of understanding that our millennials, 30% of the workplace, have a very different experience with communication, with conduct, with social media, with being able to even use verbal communication and nonverbal communication in meaningful ways. And it's very different. It's vastly different from how they interact with the rest of the workforce and vice versa. This is a conversation that's not designed to make one generation different or wrong from the other, rather, but it's really designed more to be deliberate, to help you to be deliberate and thinking about what you're going to do to model appropriate behaviors for the millennials, and to also engage practices that helps all of the generations, including the millennials, exchange communication in ways where everyone is heard, where everyone is valued, and everyone is really seen, so that people feel safe and inspired in appropriate, concrete means, as opposed to taking a stab in the dark and kind of sort of hoping that this will work. It just does not. So to find out more resources on this ongoing conversation with millennials and how to create a culture in the workplace that is designed to leverage their expertise, their skill sets, and speak to their needs and their learning opportunities, you can count on us at the Bullyproof Diva to provide ongoing resources for this exciting, in-depth topic. But in the meantime, here is to you doing the following. Looking at your organization, step one, and seeing how many of the millennials are actually making up your workplace culture. Just taking a stock, just even taking a real assessment at the fabric of your organization. How many of them are millennials? Step number two, asking yourself, doing an assessment. What is your organization doing that actually has meaningful ongoing practices that onboards this part of your workforce? And then thirdly, how and what are you doing that actually is very concrete and specific, that actually provides intergenerational communication? And it can sound like a really big word, right? Intergenerational communication, but nonetheless, it is essential. So this is a call to action to really, first of all, assess and see the importance of this conversation. And it's also designed to have you do a 360, seeing how this takes place and impacts your organization, what your organization is doing to be very specific and deliberate with that. And then thirdly, looking at what can you do to begin to start shifting and making sure that this deliberate, a targeted approach to onboarding and modeling best practices for your millennials is taking place.